Theivesrus. Tell me who told you thoughts are not golden, precious, respected enough to be quoted. Words are emotions my heart just can't hold in, but why write a poem when your poem can be stolen? In my humble beginnings, I love to share my gift with ears that spare time to listen until I became aware my gift was being shared without my permission. Plagiarism always existed, no mistaking, this is business. I have no interest in debating you. If God wanted you to have this man's talent, he would have kept my hands silent and gave it straight to you, but he did not. Instead of loving what you've got, you're riding jocks when you should be spending that time ending your writer's block. When you truly write a lot, you pay homage but never always look up to phenomenal verses birthing the crook in you. When I look at you, I see you want my standing ovations from the crowd support. You want to be known as a great father, but you don't want to pay my child support. You're nothing but a child that's caught with hands stuck in a cookie jar. Your eyes lust a career your heart isn't looking for. Shows I booked the tour aren't paying, devious duplications of my previous creations. What logical organization consciously commits to paying the last poet for what the first poet was just saying? Imitation can't be the highest form of flattery when it's used to abuse a poet's salary. In actuality, you can tell when poets steal from other poets by the way they defend poets who steal from other poets. Quoting, "There's nothing that can be said that hasn't been said before. That's because they said everything I said before. Nothing new under the sun. That's what the elders spew while I question every elder defending you. Every elder that continues to turn poets into rabbits, shortcutting the pace. You're feeding my shoes with patience and hard work can truly happen one day. How I obtain these fruits of labor, I can show you the way, but I can't pass you the torch if you're not running the race. I'll admit it, great minds always relate to think alike. To each other they always listen, but your great mind is a fake mind that take lines you've never written. You damn fool, every time you demand my glance tools. As your hands muse, your fans become my fans too, who demand to know who's really been your favorites poet, but you'll never know it if they'll never quote it. Don't believe me? Do the research. The weak verse of these cheap jerks is the research of my deep work. Couldn't speak right if they speak first. Remember who begged to speak first. As a feature, claiming your thesis is the second coming of Jesus, as if your words are the only words with meaning spoke on the planet. Next, you're gonna tell me you wrote the 10 commandments. Speaking of the 8th commandment, thou shalt not steal. Ask God for forgiveness. Pray he removes your ability to keep Xerox in business. Pray Eminem doesn't sue you for copyright infringement in court. Pray I plead the 5th when I'm used as a witness. Pray I mind my business. Pray my aim is missing when I get proactive and practice the Second Amendment. Don't be ridiculous. Ransacking revolution is artistic execution. It never pays to steal. Your plagiarism won't be televised if you can't pay your cable bill. Even when my body older killed and my breath would stink. These still that the thoughts I ink. Fiending, dreaming of my spot in your light. Squeezing your pillow tight. How do you sleep at night? Knowing everything you recite is not everything you write. May God bless the child that writes his poem. Even if it's not copywritten. As long as he no longer decides to copy writtens. My poems are my children. When my pen bleeds such wealth, I breed myself, mama's boy. How many times must I repeat myself? Treat others as you would treat yourself, unless you want me to unbrawl your mother and breastfeed myself. Or try a better plan. Don't be the better fan. Be the better man. Be the brother who invented the light bulb before it was stolen. I mean patented by Thomas Edison. Taking credit where credit ain't due. Admiring racist thieves like Socrates who refuse the credit a coon. Rejecting the essence in you is like a man rejecting his child. Just because you stole my unquoted poetry doesn't mean I fathered your style. Your daddy must have been a rolling poem, because your bastard hands can't leave poets' poems alone. Once I see you roam at a show, I forget my poem on purpose. I freestyle, improvise, but you still find a way to record my words and memorize. I'll burn the wool you pulled over eyes since the first time you flowed. You're winning slams with poems I wrote 10 years ago. Talent shows are for future pros preparing to be overworked, see? But poets performing other poets' poems is not for features, it be for karaoke. You're the difference between a fan shaking my hand and a group be groping me. The flow in you could never be the flow in me, since you're not quoting me. If you didn't write my poetry, then don't recite my poetry.